these operator bans so we can figure out who will be removed just shortly. You said the hard breachers are such a big focus here. The gatekeepers, though, they've got this opportunity to present us with a bit of a surprise first, or maybe go with more something close to the norm.
Well, I expect to see more of the norm, especially from ARIAL Arise, but maybe the gatekeepers will spice things up. We know they like to do it. We've seen them ban the lion before, so who knows? But here comes the ace. The Selma charges will be removed. There's that hard breacher ban that we predicted. No surprise to see him off the board. Our second ban coming through, that's going to be the Ash. A pretty solid target ban there, knowing how gatekeepers can be so aggressive. ARIAL Arise, no doubt thinking along the aggression train of thought. They've done their preparation for this match, and they know how powerful the aggression from the gatekeepers can be. The Valkyrie ban, the information denial coming out, that is a smart ban to say the least. And our final ban, gatekeepers wasting no time to put that one through, it's going to be the Wamai.
Well, the Ash ban, that's not one that comes out all too often, but you love to see it regardless. And that's got to be ARIAL Arise trying to shut down the gatekeepers' play, but we won't be able to see the impact of that just yet because of the fact that ARIAL Arise will be the team for us tonight, starting off on the attack. And for the gatekeepers, they'll have to wait a little bit longer. Apollo was teasing it a little bit there. He showed the Caveira, and perhaps that's the 6th pick, but bringing the Pulse here for Aviator is certainly a curious decision. I wonder if this is maybe attempting to fool ARIAL Arise into believing that they're going for a dining setup when in fact he will 6th pick on the Mirror, and it's worked. Whitlock has switched from the Thatcher onto the Buck, and I'm pretty certain that's ARIAL thinking that this was going to be that tertiary bomb site coming up initially, but AVG will be our site.
Well, Whitlock is saved because Buck is still a very viable operator to play on planes and games. You can come from below, pretty much Swiss cheesing the entire floor of games and near the vault, making it nearly impossible to hold a safe anchor position. Problem with that, though, is now that the Thatcher is off the table and you don't have an IQ, and we do have that Bandit on the board, those Bandit batteries will indeed come into play, and that is going to be a pain to get these walls open. Thankfully, you do have the Buck, you do have 4 grenades, and the breaching impact rounds from the Zofia, all of which can assist in popping those batteries from below. But that means that we're going to have to see some attacking focus possibly devoted to that below take. Unless, of course, we see that typical north to south clear, working your way up all the way through Master, taking control of Statuary, Trophy, eventually 90 Hall, and using those frags to pop open that vault wall that can be used to establish that crossfire into either Aviator or games.
Well, that's seemingly the plan here. ARIAL Arise are full stacked over by Master, and Feltwinter, the aggressive king of this team, is looking to make his impact felt. Waiting at the statue door to rush into Master bedroom. As soon as he gets the sound call, the Buck is ready for it. Whitlock shuts him down. What a way to open this up, and I've got a bit of a note here. Feltwinter and Whitlock used to be teammates.
Well, that's an interesting dynamic there. A good early pick to make that one happen. But now down a man, and the man advantage is in the favor of ARIAL Arise. The onus now on gatekeepers to make their response felt. We're going to see Splash positioned here in 90 Hall, waiting for the army of these attackers to push on through as the full stack now works their north to south clear up into play. Splash is very aware that the swing could come out at any moment, but we know how aggressive Splash is and not going to back off this angle that easily. Rexevi, even with the UMP, going to challenge this angle just a little bit as well. Castle's not the most common operator you'll see picked here over on planes and games, but a viable one nonetheless. We're going to see Maverick here trying to open up this vault wall position to throw those nades in, pop that Bandit battery off that wall. Right now, we're already seeing an early utility dump here in Aviator door. Here comes Splash on the swing. He'll find one. That's Dami, who hits the floor. That's going to equalize us at a 4 versus 4. Now with a minute 15 to go, Splash swings another in his hand. That's going to be Gunner, hits the floor. He swings to find a third, but that's going to be Kool-Aid, who denies the triple kill. Now we're down about a 3 versus 3 with a minute to play.
Mata rotating back. The drone spots him out, and he'll try to break it here. You don't want to get rid of that ADS, but I think it's actually been already wasted. Max and Whitlock could use a bit of a stim pack here. They don't have the most health to continue this gunfight, especially versus the Gatekeepers. But the good thing for them is these final defenders, probably not the most powerful guns that you could have asked for between the MP5 and the 416 for Feltwinter and Splash. Max will make his rotate, pushing further down the classical hallway, and Nitro's waiting for him. He doubles back and shoots the Nitro, so it will fail to detonate, and now Kool-Aid will tag team up as the Maverick and the Nomad apply their pressure. Mata is going to hide in the corner, tucked up close here with Apollo fighting from the back. The Bandit very lit up, but Max goes down. We've got Whitlock, though, pressuring the objective. Rexevi, a headshot on a Kool-Aid. He confirms Max and Apollo to get Whitlock. Gatekeepers will get round one in the bag.
Well, that's exactly the response that the Gatekeepers needed to that early effective push from Aerial Arise, and now the Gatekeepers go ahead 1-0 starting off Villa, despite the aggression not working out so well. And that is pure and simple a great sign for the Gatekeepers. If they can beat Aerial Arise by simply playing strategic, then really these Gatekeepers could seriously go far. But Aerial Arise, they're a well-practiced team. They know what it's like to play from behind as well, especially when you're attacking Villa, a map that at least used to go almost always in the defensive side, but is now swinging towards the attack just a little bit. Will now be the onus on them to see if they can take this one back and equalize us here as we head over to our secondary bomb site of Split, Trophy, and Statuary as we get this setup going in round number 2.
So the Gatekeepers are bringing the same castle that we saw played in the previous round. They'll open up some rotations, I believe, or maybe just footholes into the walk-in closet wall. We gotta wait to see where Rexevi will place this next castle barricade, because that should indicate how extended of a hold this will be. Rotating back, they're going to reinforce it. Look like the Goya, they don't know who's going to reinforce. Looks like the Goya will get it in the end, and they will begin to get this up. So I don't think we're going to see the rotation between Master Bedroom and Statue, unless Rexevi decides to do it now. Maybe he will. He shot just a hole, so you should just be a peeking hole. And it seemed like Rexevi is so pensive there, waiting for Feltwinter to jump back in so he can put up his barricade. But Feltwinter goes aggressive. Nothing for it as far as a reward. No damage dealt to him either, so just a bit of ammo expended and a few seconds burnt off the Aerial Arise clock.
Well, this aggression now coming out from the Gatekeepers. Once again, it's no shocker. Here comes Splash, run out all the way on this balcony. He's going to look towards Master, but will find nobody and be forced to back off. His position now will be fully known, given that the alarm went off that a player was outside. Aerial Arise will now be fully aware of that position and will likely have to seal that off with some flank drones and some air jabs. The air jabs on Villa are bigger than they are on any other map, simply because Villa is such a big map, such a roam-heavy map. So if you can get those air jabs to lock off those positions, well, that can simply be just huge. Now the vertical play coming out from this attack, Apollo, been taken down very low from a couple of shots here, but still challenging on this floor, looking for those players. Really doesn't mind that he's already low, significantly low HP. Now Splash and Rexevi kind of just hanging out here in 90 Hall. The castle on the roam, not usually Castle's role. We only have 2 defenders, or 3 defenders rather, on site at the moment. This is an opportunity potentially if Aerial Arise can seize this one. Dami finds one. Feltwinter's off the board. Rexevi's working a little flank on this vertical play as Splash now goes back to site to support the boys. But Rexevi still looking for more, trying to find this flank. Now with full aviator control, that's Aerial Arise who are going to get this crossfire established from bathroom to astronomy rather. Splash, oh my god, the scoreboard lights up. Splash with 2. Rexevi finds Whitlock, not before Max can trade off 1. So it's a 3v2 now. Max trying to retreat here, join his teammate, that's Gunner, who's peeking this breach, but the head is evasive, and Gunner will get taken down. It's all going to be up to Max. Splash with 1 HP should be easy prey for the Habana, but with 45 seconds to go, the Habana, Max, will finally deliver the fatal blow. It's going to be up to Mata and up to Rexevi to do this, But Max, the onus is on him. He'll swing, he'll find the one. That's going to be Mata to hit the floor. The swing, but no, it's Reksevi who prevails. And Max gets cut down. The Gatekeepers with round number 2.
Aerial Arise coming so close in their defense, but the damage they sustained in their push was simply overwhelming and left them in a poor position. They could not fight on through to take the control of the objective, despite the best efforts of Max to shut down and get that clutch. He forgot about one final opponent, Reksevi. Despite having not the best weapon, he made it work for 2, getting both Whitlock down, Buck inside of Mexico as well, rotating up to collapse onto Max for that final kill. Only one away from the flawless rotation here. The tertiary objective will have to come out, so no guessing games this time for Aerial Arise. They're confident this is where we will play, and even though, still the Gatekeepers will not bring the pulse.
Yeah, we're not going to see the C4s raining from below, at least assisted by the heartbeat scanner. We do have 3 C4s, but Apollo will be on that Mira to get the information that way rather than the pulse. We're also going to have a bandit in play. Interesting, we see the bandit rather than someone like a Kaid, but because those 4 individual bandit batteries, you can spread the love of that electricity just a little bit more. We are going to see a little bit of this extended vertical hold. Not only are there going to be players devoted to this hold, but quite a bit of utility as well. We're going to see the Mira window placed on that master wall facing Statuary, so Apollo or whoever's going to be playing that position can get ready for that vertical clear to come through. Splash, not wasting any time once again to get very aggressive. He'll be positioned here in study, but the drone will suss out his position, soon to be followed by some hungry attackers looking to force out this roamer, but Splash doesn't care. He'll continue to fight on this doorway, trying to find any damage at least. He'll take down Dami. Dami now protected by 2 attackers, now prone, but Splash prevails. Eventually, Gunner will take down the aggressive Jaeger. That's a good early pick from the Gatekeeper.
It takes so much to shut down Splash. Not only does he down and confirm the kill onto Whitlock, he downs Dami as well and deals damage onto Gunner. So you have to, it's like a 3-to-1 ratio. If you want to shut down Splash, you have to invest so much into clearing him. And now what that does is it leaves Aerial Arise in a much worse off position. Dami, one of the great fraggers and one of the most top-rated players for this team on the Zoe, is less than 25. And now he's just dead, period, because Reksevi lopped off its head. It didn't matter that Splash took him down low because the UMP connected onto his skull. Whitlock is dead as well, so now a man disadvantaged. Aerial Arise on the back foot, looking to try and get this vertical play underway. Gunner will open up some of the floor. He's watching down towards the staircase. Nobody's over there, though, and one of the members of the Gatekeepers is already on the prowl, looking to come up maybe from the main stairs or even closer on red. Weird Nitro Cell there from Feltwinter. It misses completely and hits a nice arc just to splash into the China wall. Apollo backing up. Still's got the Nitro. It's curious whether or not it will detonate. We all know how buggy they can be, especially having it land on the beam like that. Waiting, one player above it, testing their luck. Max will get Mata as we still wait for this Nitro Cell game to play out. The sledge above. Imagine the Nitro Cell detonates and it kills Apollo. Nope, it won't be. We'll see Reksevi gets Kool-Aid, starting to have a bit of a heater match for the captain of this team with 33 seconds remaining.
Now in a 2v3, it's Aerial Arise on the back foot once again. Not the way they wanted to start out Villa. Gunner gonna drop into Laundry, start to swing on this door, looking for anybody but the castle. It's Reksevi. He's super aware of that push, and he'll lop off the head of the sledge. Once again, it's Max in a 1v3. He's got all the work to do. He's got 100 HP, but no time on the clock. Reksevi, he'll swing, and he'll take out Max. The Gatekeepers, with round number 3, that's 3 in a row, really putting on a show for us, trying to get back in the winner's side of this bracket and work their way to the grand finals.
This is dangerous territory here for Aerial Arise. You can't keep throwing away these attack rounds because This is home territory for the Gatekeepers, the best of one that they love to play, and more rounds that you let slip is less of an opportunity to come back once we see the side swap. And if Ariel can't pick up a few here, they're going to be in a really worrying position. Apollo will 6-pick. He's not sticking the Cav, and we'll see the Hibana taken out, instead replaced by the Maverick. Splash on his signature role of the Jaeger, but it seems like Rexevi finally getting some heavy, hefty contributions. 8-0 so far, even less impact than we've seen from Splash. And if you can shut these two power players down and focus your fire on the rest of these underperforming Gatekeepers members, you're going to have a bit of an issue. And Max, the newest member, I imagine to comp in total between these two squads, is really the only main contributor for Aerial Arise at current.
Well, for the Gatekeeper side of things, I mean, Splash is putting up some numbers as well, but those are always being traded out, at least for the most part, by Aerial Arise, because we've seen Splash get extremely aggressive on that roam. But Rexevi, who is 8-0, has been on the castle all 3 rounds. That is extremely impressive. Playing a hard support player with what is largely considered a garbage weapon, the UMP, slow fire rate, low damage, hard to do, but he's been able to do it. It's 8-0. I mean, incredible stuff from Rexevi, clearly in his element right now, leading his team to 3 back-to-back rounds. And now we're going to see the Aviator site once again. It's going to be up to Planes and Games to see how round number 4 plays out. We saw that 6-pick. The Mira will be in play once again. It's always hard to push onto the site, especially in those closing seconds when you have to deal with these Mira windows. Gunner gonna get the opening pick onto himself with little TK with that grenade. Mata gonna open us up on the first pick for the Gatekeeper side of things, taking down Whitlock. So Gunner, confused clearly about that self-frag grenade kill. Not exactly sure how that one played out.
Yeah, that is just so devastating for Aerial Arise here. They need this round. You've only got 2 opportunities left, and I know we talked about the dynamics of Villa as a map and how it plays as far as being defender-sided or attacker-sided, or I don't know who's sided, but so far it's Gatekeepers the ones taking every single round, and they look primed and ready to take this one as well. They're up by a 2-man advantage, type of which we haven't seen, mostly self-inflicted so far. Apollo will go down. He's likely to be confirmed here by the player on the vertical angle, but perhaps not. A pre-fire trying to take out Rexevi. He might just rotate and go for a door peek, and Gunner's not having the best game of his day. What we've got next is the player down by 90. Max gets swung here, he's likely to go down, and that's exactly how it will play. Splash takes him out, the body shot lifts him up, and now he will fall. Apollo on low HP, he's been picked back up after being down on the vertical play earlier with a minute to go. Aerial Rise will need some crazy action to fight their way back into this.
Yeah, it's a 2v5. Never mind, it's a 1v5 as Rexevi will find his 9th, no 10th kill on the map. And he will take out the head of Dami as well. Can Rexevi be stopped right now? I mean, this man is on a tear. It's his clearly very impressive stuff from the castle. The sheesh comes out because that is exactly what we are witnessing right now. It's a stomping from the Gatekeepers, a 4-0, carried heavily by Rexevi with a 10-0 performance right now.
I mean, this is the Rexevi that he's always talking about. When you see him on Twitter, he says, I'm going to show up on game day and I'm going to beat you around. And so far, that's what we're seeing from him. He's just, nobody can step up to the plate and take him down. And that's kind of a prevailing issue. Aerial Rise, even in rounds where they're able to secure the opening kill, have yet to really translate that into anything meaningful when it comes time to execute. Because Gatekeepers have Splash. I don't think he's been the opening kill so far in any of the 4 transpired rounds, and that doesn't seem like something that will change heading into number 5. It just seems like Splash plays very conservatively at just the right moments, and his timing is impeccable.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it is really incredible to witness right now, and we're going to have to witness exactly how this one is going to unfold. It's round number 5. We're headed back over to Trophy and Statuary. Last time we were here, This one didn't go in Ariel Arise's favor either. It was Max who was left in the 1v3. Here goes Feltwinter on that same spawn peak, looking for anyone. Max around the corner, but Feltwinter gets off the angle just before the kill presented itself. Kool-Aid gets a beautiful shot onto Splash, who is also going for that run out on the basement. Another bit of aggression from Splash, not a surprise at all. Pretty much every round we've seen Splash go for something crazy aggressive. Finally, it was not bearing any fruit for the Jaeger, this time getting shut down early. We've got a roaming Goyo, though, as well as a roaming Castle. Really everyone on the Gatekeepers right now clearly feeling themselves, clearly just enjoying to really spread their love across this entire map, looking for any attackers, trying to suss them out, and really just pinch down on the attackers and play their own little attacking half, even though they're on defense.
That's honestly how it feels here. Ooh, Feltwinter. The Goyo shield detonates in his face. That'd be danger close. He manages to escape unscathed, though. Can't say the same for Apollo, who's fighting hard here inside of the statue. This mirror window will get popped, but he'll shotgun open a portion of the wall so that he can peek off of it if anyone tries to swing from the bathroom. Rexheavy on the lurk. Maybe waiting for someone to drop the hatch, and Feltwinter is actually even further up here, so a little bit of a defender hideaway. We'll see the rotate down. Kool-Aid guns Rexheavy. Finally, he has been stopped. Gunner on Tamada, and now Ariel Arise 5v1 as Gunner collects for a second. Statue control has fell in their way, and now it's just Feltwinter. No kills for him so far, and that will stay the same. Ariel Arise with a flawless round 5.
Well, the flawless round is surely one way to respond to this aggression from the Gatekeepers, punishing the aggression with some aggression of their own. And that worked out in a big way for Ariel Arise. And they're going to be looking to continue that, get that 2-4 split on Villa. And sure, at the highest levels of Siege, this map can start to swing attacker-sided, but in T3 level, generally we see the defenders playing a little bit better. That's the 4-2 split. That is not a bad place to be if you're Ariel Arise. This is a very well-established team. They know exactly how to defend Villa. So if they were to come ahead with just 2 rounds here, I would not count them out of this game. We have seen how powerful the Gatekeepers have been, but Ariel Arise, they put on a little show of their own. That particular round was a clinic on how to pressure onto that site and deal with some aggressive extended roamers.
One thing that I have to mention is the fact that we saw Splash go down early. He wastes so much time in a lot of these rounds, especially with his roam that we saw. I think that was on the statue round, I want to say, or rather it was the dining defense in round 3. We saw him patrolling up inside of Study, and there was 3 Ariel Arise attackers outside on the Study veranda. He downed, killed 1, down the second, and it took the 3rd player finally to stop the bleeding and gun him down, but the investment that it took to get that done was gigantic. But in the previous round, Ariel Arise paved their way to an easy victory because Splash went super aggressive and he ran out from the garage incredibly early. And because of that, they just had such less to worry about. Splash has been consistently peeking, swinging, going for all of these gunfights, and it's been described as hard to get used to, and that's certainly how it feels here for Ariel Arise, taking this next round paramount to their continued success should we see them perform well on the defensive half.
Well, in this last round of the Gatekeepers' defensive half, this is the first time we're not going to see a Mira in play. It's going to be the Maestro selected from Apollo instead of those Mira windows. And now this is a pretty normal pick. Mira is generally banned, so most teams work their strategies around someone else other than the Mira. Whitlock will open us up and remove the deadly Castle from play. Finally, Rexheavy, the early pick to fall in this round. Only the 2nd time he's been taken down, but that is indeed an effective way to kick off this round if you're Ariel Arise. We saw couple of shots there come out Kool-Aid's way, but he will remain alive for now. Splash once again, working that aggressiveness, hanging out in living room. The drones come his way, so they will be aware of this Jaeger's position. But that's not just enough to deal with the roamer. You actually have to out-frag Splash, and that is no easy task. Gunner finds another. Mata to fall. Feltwinter answers, taking down Gunner in the refrag. C4 goes out, but the safe repel coming out from Kool-Aid he will avoid that nitro cell, and now a 4 versus 3. Still in the favor of Ariel Arise. Feltwinter taking a fight here with Dami. Dami's going to swing it again, and he's going to get penalized for that. Feltwinter, he's too ready for that re-swing there by the Zofia. That's going to be a 3 versus 3 now. Even man count going into this final minute of round number 6.
Well, the Melusi swings again, and it's a triple kill for Feltwinter. No more, says Max. Now a 2v2, one player off site. That's Apollo. Actually, we've returned to the site. Splash managed to rotate up a red. It's a 2-stack here inside of Trophy and Statuary versus the coming aerial attackers. A pre-fire for Max. Apollo reveals his position, but now with the master bedroom wall getting opened, Apollo forfeits and falls back. Splash holding prone, he spots the Habana, and Max will fall. It's just Kool-Aid left. 2 for Splash. They might have gotten the opener under Rexevi, but they forgot about this one final defender.
Yeah, it was Splash, who's just too good to be dealt with like that. You can't swing him one at a time, because if you do, and the Jaeger has you in his sights, you are most surely going to get cut down, and that's exactly what we saw Splash do just then. That's going to take us to 5-1, a large advantage in the hands of the Gatekeepers. But now on to our second split. It's round number 7, and the first time we are going to see Ariel Arise go to their defense. Seems that AVG is going to be their first site of choice, and we're not going to see the Mira in play. What we are going to see is the other Spaniard, the Jackal, will be brought out from Mada. I'm a little surprised we did not ever see the Jackal come out on the side of Ariel Arise, given how heavy of a roam the Gatekeepers were trying to continue to put out, and the Jackal, well, direct counter to that roam. But Mada will be electing to do that as Gatekeepers are going to get into their first attacking round. Now, we saw Ariel Arise approach to this particular site. It was the typical north to south clear. Get all those roamers out of that top floor, set up those air jabs on your flank, the flank drones in position, and work your way up to 90. But this is Gatekeepers now on attack, and Gatekeepers are aggressive. They are likely going to possibly, consider something more of a direct take, maybe a lot more heavy pressure onto Study early on, but only time will tell.
Could certainly see that happening. Ariel Arise will not repeat what we saw from Gatekeepers in bringing the AVG Mira. They have the Melusi presence inside statue, though, that we saw from Feltwinter in the first, I think that was the very first round. Whitlock managed to gun down Felt in that scenario, but perhaps this time it will go the opposite way, and what a weird direction that could send this. We'll see Whitlock, he forfeits it, jumps out, forgoes this position, and will play much, much safer, rather than give Gatekeepers this opportunity for the opening frag. Rexevi jumps the drone out the building. I don't know what's going on there. He's just testing out his mouse, I guess. But Feltwinter will open up some windows. Splash rotates deeper inside of Astro. And this is when we will start to see what the impact of the Ash ban is. Because Splash is off of his traditional aggressive fragging role and instead playing the flank watch op of the Nomad.
Well, the aggression we've seen from Gatekeepers has been slightly answered here by Ariel, at least on their defensive side, but Whitlock has since fallen off the aggressive positions and has now taken up a position back in Classical Hall. Now, 90 Hall is going to be the point of contention, with Rexevi tossing some flash grenades in. They're going to be aware of a potential flank, but all of those defenders, well, they're near sight. They're ready to defend this inevitable push in as we get down about a minute 30 to go. Rexevi now taking this angle here on 90 Hall. Feltwinter going to drone that one out for his teammate. And now Apollo, though, looking here all the way, a line of sight onto the game's bar from Aviator Door. The defenders switching their line of sight as they heard some ruckus coming from that hallway. One will stand up. Kool-Aid gets taken down. Apollo still has this angle. Teammate going to run in front of the sights for the time being, but then going to be up to that Jaeger position behind the bar. That's Dami. Here comes Whitlock, though, on the C4, not going to deliver the fatal blow, and now it's still a 4v5 with his execute surely going to come out soon with a minute to go.
Here comes Gatekeepers looking to take the match point into their own hands. Already shutting down Kool-Aid, losing the smoke early, a big hit for the slowed down op. Now we can see Gatekeepers execute with their full strength. Rexheavy will pre-fire through from the study window, looking to do some damage onto a player deeper outside. A Nitro Cell is tossed, baited out by the coming Gatekeepers assault as Rexheavy finds Dami. Whitlock back to the refrag, Gunner on the splash. The plant will continue, however. Gunner can't find it, and Apollo will protect. The diffuser likely to be successful. We'll see Rexheavy falls, or rather Mata now max to die, and it's just Feltwinter versus Whitlock. The two previous teammates back on Dirty Dan's. Can they make it work? Who is going to come out on top? It's a rotate. Whitlock through the mid-sight. Feltwinter with damage from inside a gun vault. Another repeat, maybe soon to follow. 25 seconds. The diffuser further will tick down. Feltwinter taking damage from his own grenade. Rushing up close. The SMG-11 in hand. Back further, hiding in the corner. 16 seconds. But Whitlock will get it in the end. The clutch for him. Ariel Arise. Stave off match point for another round.
Well, the cat and mouse game between the two former teammates, but it's Ariel Arise who prevailed in the end. Whitlock, the beautiful bait on the diffuser, getting off it just in time. At that point, the sledge was caught in an unrecoverable position, was stuck in vault, and could not get out of that position. Had to take the gunfight, and in that defensive position, it was, of course, Whitlock with the nice shot who prevailed. And now it's 5-2, still a comeback needed for Ariel Arise, but the makings of one may be starting to happen right now. After that first win on AVG, we're going to be headed over to Trophy and Statuary. Now, the Gatekeepers obviously had good success on this site, at least 50% of the time, with Ariel Arise taking their only attacking victory when they went to this site. But now we're going to have to see how Ariel Arise can mount their defense. We did not see a heavy extended roam from them on that last round. They preferred to play a lot safer, and it did work out in the end. Whitlock was that early roamer, fell back off to site, eventually rotated away to get a little bit of a C4 going, but was that last player who proved so key in getting that clutch going. Had Whitlock fallen earlier due to an over-aggressive roam, I'm sure that round would have played out in a very different way. And so it's that maturity at that very smart playstyle we see from Ariel Arise definitely coming into effect here, but it's the Gatekeepers right now. Their strategy of just outgunning Ariel Arise still has them in that 5-2 advantage position.
So Jonah, moving into this next round, we'll see Ariel Arise rotate, not going to replay that defense on the side of the map, instead going to go to the secondary site. What do you think about the decision to go to Statue rather than maybe attempt the tertiary bomb sites on the first floor?
I mean, generally, you know, the secondary bomb site, Trophy, Statuary, that is preferred. I mean, you're not doing much trickery there, of course. You're not going to try to prank the Gatekeepers in any way. But what this site allows you to do, it allows you to mix up your strategy here. You can go with that extended hold towards Aviator, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from Kool-Aid. So he's going to be positioned here with a bit of utility to support him, as well as that M590, of course. But that is going to allow that attack coming in from Aviator side and Study side of the map to be stalled out. And stalling this attack out, ideally sparing the life of the defender in there, is huge. Already we see a minute burned. This is still an okay position for the Gatekeepers to be in, but if they're not careful, this delay could prove fruitful. There it goes. That's going to be Apollo taking down Dami, but soon traded out by Whitlock, the Malusi, keeping us even at a 4 versus 4. But this trade has now allowed the positioning of Kool-Aid to become even stronger, because the position on Study is now a little bit weakened. Kool-Aid could hang out here for longer if he so chooses, and maybe even get a pick if possible.
Right, and not only does this allow Kool-Aid to play here longer, but it also forces the Gatekeepers to be more passive, and thus, as a result, waste a considerably amount of more time. Whitlock for a second. Apollo is dead on the floor, and Feltwinter re-aggresses. Close in the engagement, it's a swing. Down and a confirm for Kool-Aid. Ariel Arise, 4v2. Splash is felled, and Rexheavy will fall. Gunner is dead. A 3v1, it's just Splash alive on the Thatcher. 11 and 5 for him. A double kill will need to transition into a quad if he wants this round in his back pocket. Max on Ariel, and Whitlock as well, both 100 health between the two, and Well, Splash does not have even a quarter of that. Swinging the corner, the arm of Max is spotted. The pre-fire is there. The headshot for the triple kill. The pistol, but no! Whitlock for another kill. Aerial Arise with their comeback.
What a beautiful round from Aerial Arise. Nearly got out of hand there with Splash really trying to make it happen in the end. The flick on a one, but could not get the clip, could not get the pistol kill onto the remaining Whitlock. I mean, what a round there from a Splash, but Aerial Arise, their aggression, that extended roam, we talked about it all round and in the pre-round, that extended roam, that extended hold in on the study side of the map came into effect in a big way for them. That's exactly why we saw them go to Trophy, and that's also why I would think that going to Kitchen and Dining, they're going to use some of that extended hold as well. Frequently, we will see teams here devote a good bit of utility to holding down the vertical play from above, locking off the master wall, and in combination with that pulse, that heartbeat scanner that this time Aerial Arise will be bringing out, in contrary to the Gatekeepers' defensive decision, that is going to allow them to get all that information, and with 4 C4s in the pocket of Aerial Arise, they will surely be able to blow some of these attackers sky high.
Well, Jonah, I'm sure you'll know who I'm about to talk about here. One of my great caster colleagues likes to call this the Nitro Cell Bonanza, and that's exactly what it is. Aerial Arise are going to try and lampoon the Gatekeepers by exploding them, sending them to high heaven. It might just be possible here with so many opportunities between Kool-Aid, Whitlock, Max, and Gunner. Just Dommy the odd one out with the barbed wire. You don't want the Gatekeepers to move too quickly. You've got 2 sets of that. Maybe put it, I don't know, on the China door and wherever else you'd like to put it. Splash on the operator rotate again. We've seen him play pretty wide set so far this attack split. First the Nomad, the Thatcher, and now onto the Iana. A great gun in the ARX as well with a set of frag grenades. If you can take somebody out early here, especially one of these high-performing Aerial Arise members, that might be enough to finally push Gatekeepers through to the match point they're so wanting for.
But Aerial Arise looking to delay that. Like you said, the Nitro Cell Bonanza, the call center from hell coming out from below. It's the coined phrase by our boy Chief Cast, so he's loving to use that one. But we're going to have to see how it actually plays out here. Yes, you do have the C4s, but you also have an extended hold coming out from Kool-Aid, who's nestled upstairs in that bathroom site right now. Gunner in Astra, waiting for his opportunity as well. Waiting for these attackers to swing on in. Kool-Aid jumps on up, looks for the pistol shots, but it will not happen. Feltwinter taking down Kool-Aid, who overly aggressed there. Kool-Aid obviously felt that the Mozzie is stuck in that position and had to jump out, otherwise it would surely be a death without a trade. And while it ended up being that, Feltwinter taken down very low. Mata finds Dommy, giving the advantage even further in the side of Gatekeepers. That 5v3 advantage now firmly in their grasp. Gunner has now backed off onto the stairs, but the the massive frag coming out from Feltwinter will secure his double kill. The wall bang nade there, and Max and Whitlock are the lone defenders. Whitlock's finding one onto Feltwinter with the UMP, but surely that's going to be traded out. Yes, Apollo will find that vertical play. So once again, Max, you've seen him in this position several times, the clutch position. Now a 1v4, a nearly impossible situation as Rexevi now gets that plant on the ground. The C4 tries to deny it, and it'll find 2. That's huge, and it could really change the pace of this round because that C4 removed the planter from play. And now the diffuser dropped in the middle of sight. The attackers have to aggress once again, but the Jackal scan will reveal his position, and the pre-fire from Mata is too much for Max to handle. And the Gatekeepers will move ahead to secure match point.
The opening frag and then some for the Gatekeepers, who struggled and shut down everyone on Aerial Arise until it came to the question of the execute to aggress onto the bomb site. And, well, it seemed like one of the members on Aerial Arise was not too happy with that frag grenade and the shrapnel mechanic that resulted in his end on the Astro's steps. And an unsuccessful tertiary defense means just so. We will have the match point go in favor of the Gatekeepers. The best of one mentality so far, securing them 6 rounds with one more needed before they progress to the lower bracket grand finals. We'll see the Ying pick. This is no surprise, and Splash just, he doesn't know what he wants to play. He just kind of rotates between every single operator. He didn't have the hugest impact in the previous round. It seemed like it was more between Mata, Apollo, and Felt who really made their impact seen, and we'll see the Gatekeepers look primed and ready to take this. What do you think, Jonah? Are they going to take this round?
I don't know about this round because we've seen how strong Aerial Arise can be on this particular site. But Aerial Arise need to win 3 in a row. And that means they have to win this site, then their secondary, and then their tertiary, the hardest site to win. And that gives the Gatekeepers 3 opportunities. So I'm assuming that Aerial Arise are going to take this round, but I do not think overtime is in the books for us, Reese. I think the Gatekeepers are going to win one of these. They're going to find their stride again, just like they did in that previous round. And that's going to be too much for Aerial Arise to counter. And I love the point you brought up about this best of one mentality that the Gatekeepers are bringing to the table. Because if you think about it, the Gatekeepers are actually undefeated in best of ones. The only game that they lost was that best of 3 against 8R6, who really just had the better siege mentality, the better long-term siege game plan to beat the aggressive Gatekeepers. But right now, in that best of 1, it's Gatekeepers who are coming out on top.
Whitlock's position is known. It doesn't take him long. Ooh, maybe if he was a little bit quicker there, he would have waltzed right into the Claymore. It's smart from the Gatekeepers to toss that up, especially when they know Aerial Arise really likes this position on the Astro Stairs. We saw it wielded pretty much in every single defense. Usually, though, it was more the statue and dining defenses where we saw it in play. This time, we're headed over towards the south with the Aviator and Games hold for Aerial Arise. Last time this site came through, you'll remember it was that intense 1v1 clutch between the former teammates. Luckily for Aerial Arise, Whitlock got it in the end despite the post plant. Gunner, though, now under Rexevi, 11-6. That first half performance he had is not translated here, and he started to slow down just a tad bit. I think actually only 1 kill for him in these previous 4 rounds, and that will stay the same here for this AVG one. Dami's waiting. He's not having really any kind of a good game for himself, and he'll look to change that here and now from the library, or rather bookshelf position. Splash is going to rotate in the drone. Gatekeepers, they're not forgoing the intel. They want to know where Aerial Arise are, at least before they swing, rather than wait until after and be the ones in the not in the active position, I guess. They want to go for a really active attack, but with Rexevi gone and no substitute hard breacher, what will need to happen is a forcing through this doorway. They're aware of this frag grenade. They managed to successfully bait it out the previous round, but it's met by a gas canister. Dami goes down over by main stairs. You've got the roam from Whitlock. Mata will fall. Now it's a 5v3, technically 4v3, and Splash getting zapped up by, I believe, an evil eye of Gunner. Feltwinter collects the headshot for the confirm onto Dami. There's 15 seconds to go. Even more difficult now with 2 big kills. Kool-Aid and Max, Feltwinter and Apollo are gone and done for. Splash as well. Aerial Arise hold on for 1 more round.
Well, it looked like more than just a holding on by the skin of their teeth. That one was a decisive round win. They really took Planes and Games. They figured out the way to respond on that particular site. So that's going to stave off the loss for now, but it's still match point. And Aerial Arise still have 2 more rounds they need to take. We're going to forego trophy and statuary for now and skip right over to the dining room and kitchen. And that is not too surprising, given that Aerial Arise had some success here in the past, but last time it was too strong. That attack from Gatekeepers was just too strong in that 1v4 clutch. Could not make it happen. And that is what brought the Gatekeepers to this match point position. So an interesting pick, but we are going to see the pulse brought out again, and no doubt Kool-Aid this time is going to try to play this one a bit more passively. Last time Kool-Aid got stuck in the bathroom when all the pressure was mounting up on the bedroom and bathroom side of things in that vertical play, and he had nothing to do at that point but swing and die. And so that is exactly what he's not going to be doing in this round, hoping to just play the time a bit more and get a chance to at least use that C4, because last time, even the P10 Roni guy, he could not get that C4 off other than being killed first.
Yeah, I felt like Aerial Rise, they sort of gave up control of the top floor too quickly, and, you know, it can be difficult to do that when, you know, everyone just dies. Maybe what that means for AA is that they have to play a little bit slower and not put themselves in such risky positions. One thing, Dami has got to start showing up for his team. If Aerial Rise have any hopes of winning this, I mean, his performance is only really close to Mata on the Jackal, who has at least had some usefulness with the gadget, but Dami, he's on Jaeger. Oh, Whitlock has found a target. It's the sledge on the drone. I wonder if the pantry door is barricaded. In fact, it is. So this angle is not open for a freebie nitro kill. That would have been a huge impact to lose Feltwinter early, especially with the sledgehammer. Your only confident saw destruction for this vertical play and the frags as well. It's Gunner to fall early, and Malusi not being able to use her nitro cell. Two drones roll past Kool-Aid, who's might be soon to fall, but in fact it's him who triumphs in that fight. Another one here for Whitlock, a long angle onto Splash, a 4v3, Aerial in the advantage.
There it goes, a 3v3 now on the board as Mata will try to retake some of that advantage that Aerial Arise have then gained. That'll equalize us as the flash dump continues to pour into this site, but it appears that the vertical control is not going to be a focus whatsoever. Max delivers the shot onto Mata, removing that terrifying Jackal from play. Now it's a 3 versus 2 in the favor of Aerial Arise once again. This has been a very aggressive push with most of the action going down in this first minute. Pretty much contrary to this 20-second meta that we are in to this day. And right now, Rexevi pushing up towards Memo now, looking to continue some of that aggression. But Max is going to shut down Apollo. Rexevi finds the trade, getting his 12th kill of this map to equalize with Splash now. But with 2 more to find, this is Rexevi have to do all of this work. Work cut out for him for sure, but he's a strong player. He's proved it on that first half of this map and can very well take this one. Whitlock and Kool-Aid are going to have to be careful, but they do have the heartbeat scanner. They know exactly where Rexevi will be coming from. And that is a huge problem in that 1v2. Your element of surprise, really an element that can help you in this clutch situation, going to be pretty much gone. Now swinging in towards China, looking for anyone, but without any intel, it's going to have to just be searching out for these picks manually. There is going to be a player in the pantry. It's going to be Pulse now running away, actually, but the head pops up, and Kool-Aid with the swing from the pantry take down Rexevi, and Aerial Arise get this even closer to a potential overtime.
This is looking to be a real squeaker once we get closer to the end. It's round number 12. If Aerial Arise want their overtime, it's time to take it now as they sit at 5-6. The only round 1 was that tertiary dining defense back on number 9. And just then, Aerial Arise proved their performance on that objective itself, taking their win, and they move forward here to trophy and statue once again. You want to get that opener here. Could not matter more. We've seen the opening frag game has started to slow down. It really benefited Gatekeepers on the defense. They've had a pretty big majority of the openers so far now in the second half, but in these last few rounds, it hasn't mattered all too much. We saw Feltwinter on round number 9, a dining defense. He got the kill, and they won the round. And just previously, Feltwinter managed to kill Gunner early, one of the top performers. We saw him as the sledge in that previous round. The thing is, it's what I was talking about earlier in the Ape game. The trade frags Aerial Arise have secured in a few of these rounds have propelled them to some victories. And if they can get that and be more consistent here again with this AVG extension from the statuary side itself, they might be able to get something better going. And what they succeeded most in last time on this statue site was the slowdown they were able to accomplish. We saw, I believe it was Whitlock, secured a double kill playing the zombie position every time somebody from Gatekeepers would attempt to peek the study aviator door. He would immediately capitalize on that and shut them down, which allowed his teammate, I want to say it was Kool-Aid in that scenario, more time more safety and more confidence to hold that position.
Well, you talk about teammates, and you got to take a look at Max and Whitlock, who are just putting up incredible numbers right now, numbers that are rivaling Splash and Rexevi, even Max matching them exactly. Unfortunately for Dami, being pretty shut out this entire map, definitely things not quite clicking for him, but it's Max and Whitlock who are really putting up the fight for Aerial Arise, and that is what's keeping them in this battle. It's 5-6. Sure, it's match point, but 2 out of those 3 rounds in a row have now been secured, and they only need 1 more to go. We are going to see this pressure starting to mount, but a successful EMP is going to allow those X-Kairos pellets to start opening up that master wall, forcing off those anchors from those positions. And this AVG extension, well, it's not going to be much help if all of the pressure is coming straight to master. This is exactly what Gatekeepers does best. Straight aggression. It's going to be up to Aerial Arise and how they're going to be able to pivot some of that utility and pivot those players to refocus their defensive efforts. Now that the pressure is coming straight in master, ignoring the south side of the map, they're going to have to make some changes and stall out this powerful attack.
One thing you'll have to change here is uproot Max from this solid position inside of Astro. We see him taking down about 50 health after that frag grenade was lobbed in. We'll see Mata, though, catches Whitlock on the rotate. The smoke is gone. A 4v5. Max is still yet to give this up. Gunner on the support below from Astro, making sure that this Gatekeeper's offense does not progress through the window. We'll see 2 more kills make that 3, and it's just Kool-Aid. Otherwise, Gatekeepers are locking in their date with destiny versus the Favelas in the losers bracket final. A swing, but it's nothing. A flawless round, and Gatekeepers book their ticket. They are going to the losers bracket finals.
Well, they're going to have their work cut out for them against the Favelas, but oh my, they have proven that they have what it takes to not only play against the best, but beat the best at their own game. Yes, Ape did get the better of them there, but to